Ladies and gentlemen, live on Spreaker.com, we're presenting...
Hollywood Hotel.
No, you stupid bitch! It's Radioland! And now, here is your host, the one and only, the Prince of Spreaker, a man among boys. It's Apocalypse!
Thank you. To all my fans, I do apologize for the lateness of today's show. It is absolutely my fault that I did not do a show earlier. Things came up. Certain neighbors may or may not have convinced me to prolong this sort of show. Because guess what? They had ribs for me. I like to eat them ribs. And I'm not even a black guy. But I think everybody in all races love ribs, even the Jews, even though they can't eat pork. But they're just posers. Thank you. Alright, guys. It's very important that we check our stats here. And I check my stats not just for my own ego, but for someone like Stabby's ego. Because when it comes to Stabby, he's a very sensitive person. A secret recently came out about Stabby, which kind of makes sense. The reason why he's so scientific about everything, the reason why he doesn't give faith a chance, the reason why everything is so sensitive to him, because he does cry in the corner. At times, Stabby's thin skin gets in the way of progression on Spreaker. But he is my friend. It is my duty to mend the ways with the Stabby. Because it's not fair for me to throw a spear at his face and then expect him, hey, we're friends. That's not fair to him. I have to be the better friend here. I have to show Stabby some love. And I expect all you people out there that troll Stabby, look, we've all been in that chat room on Skype. We've all talked about it. We've all discussed it. We said, hey, but what came out recently was that BTG, aka Angela Truth, she's been doing these shows at night. I think she deletes them, but she does them, and they're fun, kind of. And, well, what happens is, last night, she was talking about autism, and he got very sensitive about the subject. And then I asked him if he was the Asperger's. In case you guys don't know what Asperger's is, it is not a dynamic thinker. Basically, when you talk to them, things feel a little bit awkward because they don't understand the complete dynamics of conversation. But that does not necessarily take away from their intelligence. Usually it increases it because things like sarcasm are generally not understood when you converse with an Asperger. And so, I think maybe that's what it was that Stabby has the Asperger's. That's why he gets mad all the time. And so what I have to do is, it's not troll Stabby less, because I think when you troll people, when you get out there and you troll, that means you love them because you're giving them attention. So we troll for love at this network, or at least this show. I think that's important. If you're not trolling your friends and you're sitting there kissing their ass, you're doing them no favors. What a troll does is it makes you the better podcaster. Because we are all podcasters on Spreaker. Some of us, we have some music shows. But don't listen to them. Listen to this. You have to get out there and kick your friend in the back of the head. Even if he's doing good. People need to live on their toes. And that's very important. Because if we lose that, if we lose the ability to best perform in dire situations online, then we lose everything. The whole world is lost. Do you understand what I'm saying? Is this making sense to all you people out there? I'm hoping it does. Okay. So just keep that in mind. The next time we have that meeting on Skype about Stabby or Facebook, we have to show him it's not about us. It's about him. And it's about growing that little vine. So that little skin of his, it goes from paper to a thick, like, oak tree trunk, across his arms. So he's powerful. And so he becomes one of us, a human. So I just want us to pray for Stabby real quick. I know this is a late show and there's probably not going to be too many people here live, and that's fine, because I don't really engage the chat room a whole lot, mostly because I'm lazy, and I have this whole setup here where it's just easier if I don't, but sometimes I will. But here we go. Dear Lord, please pray for our Cuban friend, Mr. Stabathin McHugs. He has, on occasion, bragged about listening to ICP, Twisted, and other disgusting, nasty music. When there's plenty of other good music out there, he listens to total garbage. I don't understand why. I mean, you could even listen to Lynyrd Skynyrd 10 times in a row, and that's going to be better than anything that he listens to times 10. But Lynyrd Skynyrd's a good band, God, and I thank you for creating those wonderful people that sang and performed in that band. I really thank you. But this is about Stabby. We need him to get better. He's been a really grumpy grump. And I foresee him sort of going in the dark road, when instead I, as his internet best friend, I need to kick him like he's like a stray little wolf right now. So I need to kind of kick him. He needs to get back on track. I don't want to see him go down the dark road. There's been too many deaths in the world. So, thank you. And, amen. So, let's see who's here in the chat room. So far we've got Listener. In case you guys don't know who Listener is, he is a Canadian. And, I'll be honest, I don't know if Canada really exists. I hear people have a strange accent, talk from there, or at least claim they're from there. But if I haven't been to Canada, how do I know it exists? I mean, this huge nation, apparently it's the largest nation in the world. Or at least behind Russia, one of the two. But it's so big, yet it has, 35 million people? I don't trust that. I don't trust a landmass that has that many people, that small amount of people, I should say, when the country's so big. And don't give me this crap about, it's colder, the more north you go. Fuck the North Pole. Fuck gravity. Okay? I want to see Canadians living all across Canada. And don't cheat and stick your little Indians up in the coldest, Arctic temperatures. You go up there, too. You go live with them. You guys chew on some whale fat. The blubber is good for you. Hey, they don't have any problems. Do you see them with diabetes? They made it fine. They don't need no stupid casinos. So, thank you, listener, for coming in. And thank you, Mr. Paul Dembski. Mr. Paul Dembski, I have a bone to pick with you, sir. One of the things I've noticed is you have not held up your bargain to anything goes. Now, I can understand you're probably trying to enjoy some nice weather before it goes to shit. But, Paul, last year, when it went to shit and it was wintertime, you still didn't do a show. So, we need to steer you back on course, mister. And if you have any extra Vicodins, please send it to an address I'll send you on Facebook. That's obviously not to be towards me. I have a second cousin in somewhere around me. They definitely need pain help because they're hurting. And I don't like to see people hurt. It hurts to see hurters hurting. So thank you, Paul. So if you have any of those Vicodins, I do appreciate your help in pain management. Pain management is a serious thing, folks. When we think of pain, all you gotta think is a little kid crying, okay? And it's not fair that that kid's crying. Let's fix it. Let's make the world a better place. Let's hand out Vicodins for Halloween. Wouldn't that make a better place for this world? And if the parents want to come along, hey, you know what? You give them a Percocet. They deserve it. Because you know what? It is back-breaking taking your little shithead toddlers trick-or-treating. Wow, isn't it? I mean, what? You have to walk a half a mile? Yeah, and you know what? A lot of you people, you guys don't even have the golf carts. So you actually have to manually walk with 2 feet, left, right, like a damn marching submarine, to these doors. And then you have to perform an act, a celebratory act. You have to sit there and be like, trick or treat. And you don't mean it. When you say that, you don't give a crap. You should just be like, candy now. Or there should actually be, let's just get rid of all the vocabulary. Let's just point at our bags and say candy. Or no, wait. Even get rid of candy. Just point at our bags. And then that way, these little shithead kids, the best age is when the kid's like 10 to, 14. That way, you don't really have to watch them. They can go do Halloween on their own. And at that age, they can run fast and they get all sugar high. And I'll tell you this much. When I was a youngster, there's a place around here called Moon Valley. It's an upper middle class area. My friend lived there at the time. Well, there wasn't much of a North Phoenix at the time like there is now. But this would have been somewhat North Phoenix. So a lot of famous people lived in this area. Not a whole lot of kids either. So there's a lot of wealth and just not a lot of kids, which is a good thing. So me and my friend, we'll call him Phrase. We would have 2 pillowcases and we'd run door to door to door, I think for 4 hours. And we'd also be the jackasses that, if you're not going to be home, the best thing you can do is leave that metal bowl out and say, please take one. Well, we are definitely the assholes that would take that whole thing. We would not even leave one behind. We took the whole thing. And also, there was an Angels player that lived in the neighborhood. His name was Tim Salmon. Now, I think he was like upper average. He wasn't like a top player, but he was a good player. And he actually made his own cards for Halloween. And he set them out. And me and my friend, we totally jacked all those. And I still have them. So I'm wondering if those are like super rare because we each took half. And I think I have like 200 and he took like 200. So I have all these cards that he's specialty novelty cards. So I'm wondering what I should do with them. I don't know. Let's see who else made it in my chat room. It is Truth Porn Militia. In case you guys don't know who Truth Porn Militia is, that is Pumpkin Face. He also co-hosts or hosts on the Night Talk Sands Network. They do a pretty good show over there. Obviously, because I'm always in their chats. Because I don't really go to chats or shows that I don't like. Or if they do poorly. It's all about the entertainment. That's it. This is what it's about. In case you guys didn't know, I did lose my job about 2 weeks ago. And I want to share with you some of my job hunting. It didn't go quite well, but I made some effort. In case you guys didn't know, I got let go from McDonald's. Same stuff. They said, oh yeah, we're getting people from India, so we need to replace you. So I was like, fine, I'll go find another job. And so I started collecting unemployment, but because I only worked 24 hours a week, I got like, they're only giving me about $100 a week in unemployment, and that's only going to last 1 month. So I got to really pick up the pace here and find some real work, if you know what I mean. So I went to the nearest place towards a McDonald's because obviously I don't have a vehicle because that just costs way too much money and I can't afford insurance and all that. That's just another story, but I'm on foot, okay? So I have to look for a place around here. So another place is Home Depot. So I went inside to the Home Depot. I talked to the person there, like a manager or something like that. And I was starting to fill out an application. And then we were talking about what position I want. Because, you can be a cashier or whatever. So I said I wanted to stand out in front and be a beaner. And then the guy just looked at me like pissed. I was like, look, dude, I know what Home Depot's about. I've seen all those Mexicans stand out in front. It looks like they have it good because you know what? They don't have to pay taxes. So I wanted